In this video, I wanted to share my process of making a super bright and happy scarf for the upcoming winter, and show you one of my absolute favorite weaving techniques, the Clasped Weft. To do this technique, you'll need a warp, a loom with at least 2 sheds, and 2 different yarns of similar thicknesses. Since I want to make myself something super warm and cozy, I'm using a pre-wound cashmere warp that is 200 threads wide and 6 meters long, which I threaded onto a Saori CH60 loom. I wish it was that easy. And for my weft, I'm using these 2 giant cones of Italian Angora yarn. To set up for weaving, wind one of the yarns onto a bobbin or a shuttle, and then place the other yarn on the floor right next to your loom. There are many ways to start your weaving, but I find it easiest to place the 2 ends of the yarns into an open shed, one facing one way and one facing the other. Wherever the 2 yarns meet is going to be your first color change, so place it wherever you want your design to start. Then change sheds and beat. Now you have 1 yarn coming out of each side of your project, and now we're ready to start the Clasped Weft. To begin weaving, pass your shuttle through the shed. When you get to the opposite side, grab the yarn you placed on the floor by looping around it. Then drag it back through the same open shed. Gently tug to move the point where the 2 yarns lock together, and position the color change wherever you'd like. Give the yarns a gentle tug to help them relax and to avoid pulling your edges inward. Then change the shed and beat. That's it! Pass your shuttle through, loop around, and pass it back. Place your colors, relax your edges, switch sheds, and beat. To create a design, just change the positions of where the yarns meet on every row. You can also change the yarns whenever you'd like to incorporate different colors and textures. I love this technique because I find the weaving process really meditative. For my scarf design, I made these large zigzags across the whole project. As I was weaving this pattern, I felt like I was creating mountains that I had to climb up and down, and I imagined all of the natural textures of each little mountain's landscape, which I incorporated as random little peaks and dips in my designs. I wasn't really counting or planning my shapes, but to make my design more interesting, every 5 mountains or so, I cut off my yarns, moved the red yarn from the right side of my loom to the left side, and then reattached my colors facing the other way. And then, after weaving about 2.5 meters of fabric, I cut my project off the loom. I left my fringes extra long because I wanted to twist them by hand using a trick I learned from Kenzo Jo at Saori no Mori in Japan. This technique is super tricky and it took me a lot of practice to get it right. If you'd be interested in a video about it, let me know in the comments. After twisting the fringes, I soaked the scarf in cold water and wool wash and then hung it up to dry. And here's how the finished scarf turned out. I couldn't wait for the winter to wear it, so I paired it with a crazy handmade dress and I took it to the beach for some photos. What do you think? It's such an easy technique and it produces such cool results. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more weaving videos.